Hello everybody, welcome back to some Fallout 4. Picking up where we left off, we're heading into the Railroad HQ to get our thingamabobber. Wow, Mr. Timms, that's just creepy as fuck. To get our courser chip.
Floating in the sky.
Whatever. And I did bring Dan's with me. It probably should have an effect, but...
I thought it was one of Tinker Tom's aliens.
Aliens are real.
Enough! The blimp is called the Pridwind, and it's operated by the Brotherhood of Steel. The Brotherhood of Steel are a formidable, highly advanced order. And they've come here to destroy Synths.
Shit.
Spread the word. The Brotherhood are our enemies. There's no possibility of peace. Tinker Tom will be spearheading a fail-safe plan to deal with this Brotherhood. Codename Red Glare. But for now, we monitor them and keep them clear of our operations. The focus remains on the Institute. You've all got jobs to do. Do them.
So very awkward. Anyway.
Heads up, Desdemona.
I have a report
Check with
here.
him.
It reads more like a comic book. Apparently, one hell of a fight took place at Green Tech Genetics.
Yeah, that was me. I took down a courser.
That's what the report says. Hard to believe. I'm all for one less courser in the world, but the conventional wisdom is that you run from them rather than engage them. So why did you kill him?
I needed a courser chip. I need the code on it.
You have one of their chips? Intact?
Despite
Follow
me blowing off his head with a
now.
shotgun, yes.
Decoding a courser chip is a very delicate operation. A million things can go wrong, the least of which is losing the data. Fortunately, we have the right man for the job.
Hey, Dad. You need something?
Tom, we got a courser chip.
Sorry, Tinker Tom's got me
For real?
doing...
Oh, man, it's been ages.
You've hit the jackpot with this. Hand over the chip. Let's see what's on it.
What can we get off the courser chip?
Those chips have more than just codes on them. Everything from how it's made to what it's made from tells us something about our enemy. One minor detail could mean the difference between life and death for our agents and the synths we're trying to save. Now hand it over and let's get it analyzed.
Here you go.
All right, Tom, make it happen.
All right, little courser chip. Let's have the circuit analyzer take a crack at you. We're in. Chip accessed. Just poke the analog connectors a little. What? Oh man, don't crash.
So anyway, if you've done something to kill off all the railroad, you still need to come here to decode the courser chip. You just use Tom's computer yourself.
Oh man, they've added more decimals to the last cipher. This is gonna be... Come on, baby. Show me that pattern. Where is it? Wait, they're using the same logarithmic function as the key generator. Oh man, we got lucky. I got you, you Institute bastard. I got you.
I have no idea if anything he's saying is making sense.
Show me that sweet bass number. Come on, baby. Yeah, we got it. We got the code. Let me load that onto the holotape for ya.
Good work, Tom.
Hey, yeah, but I'm not sure our luck will hold up next time, does?
And Agent, I hope that helps you as much as you've helped us. Good work.
Alright. So, now that we have the courser chip, we need to return to Virgil. Gonna do a quick save here.
Desdemona.
You got Tom's camera online? The runners are gonna find that very useful. Pam, too.
Alright, so
One
that's
more
about
hour
the
until
Mila
my shift
things.
ends. You gotta be careful, man. The Institute is everywhere.
Yeah.
Hi.
Hey, I got everything you field agent types need.
No,
I
I'm
don't
good
need
for now then.
Then you go back to doing what...
Just want to see if there's more quests now that we've brought them the courser chip, and they had that whole conversation about the Brotherhood. It's still very awkward.
Make sure you're never followed here. It's all our asses if you are.
Okay, well, if Drummer Boy's not giving us a direction,
Hey there.
Glad you're with us.
I'm guessing that we don't have any
Things
new
are
quests
quiet.
unlocked.
For now.
Hey, Glory.
For every synth that makes it out, there's a round on me.
I suppose you're here for my medical services. Let's see what's wrong with you today.
Hear anything, Doc?
Nothing that would interest you.
Uh-huh. Not now.
Alright.
Fine.
Okay. So yeah, I guess we don't have
There,
anything new
assume you're being
with the
watched.
railroad, which doesn't surprise me all that much. Now we are going to go and see, because Mr. Timms, I don't think is supposed to be here anymore. I'm reasonably certain he's not supposed to be here anymore. So I did go and ditch all my stuff, including my power armor, despite us needing to go back and see Virgil. But I think we'll be fine. About to find out. I mean, I have Rataway anyway, but I don't think that it's. I don't think that there's radiation inside his lab. As little sense as that makes, I think that will be good in here. So I didn't see the point to going back and getting the whole power armor again. To be fair, you can explore the majority of the glowing sea without power armor or the hazmat suit or anything. It just makes it so much easier.
Wasn't sure I'd see you again. You managed to get what you need?
I have the code.
Suppose I shouldn't be surprised. You did get rid of Kellogg after all. Not too much of a leap to take down a courser. How'd you manage to get it decoded?
The railroad helped me.
Oh god, those kooks. I would have expected they'd be too busy trying to liberate vending machines or setting computer terminals free or... Sorry. They just have something of a reputation. You're not the only one who's been busy. I did the best I could. From memory and things I've overheard through the years. Came up with some schematics for you. Wasn't easy. These hands are ridiculous. Fine motor skills have gone to shit. Here's the simple explanation. You need to build a device that will hijack the signal the Institute uses to teleport coursers, and send you instead. You know the craziest part of the design? That classical music station. That's the carrier signal for the relay. All the data's on harmonic frequencies. You've been hearing it all along. I want to be clear that this isn't my area of expertise. I was bioscience, not engineering or advanced systems or anything.
Bioscience? Advanced systems?
Divisions within the Institute. Specialized groups working on various projects. It'll make sense later. But if you can build this device and make use of that code, you should be able to override the signal from the Institute's relay. Can you? I mean, can you build it? You have people that can help. This is a lot for one person, even you.
I got it covered.
Good, good. Because you've got to make it in there. For both our sakes. And don't you forget our agreement. I've helped you as best I can. If you make it in there, you find that serum. It's my only hope for ever being normal. So you find it. Now go on. Take these and get to work. You do whatever it takes. Call on whoever you know to help you.
Protect and serve.
Alright. So the funny thing about this, right, is he says he's from the bioscience division, but this lab outfit that he's wearing, that's like shredded and, you know, tied together so that it still covers up, isn't from the bioscience division. And once we give him the his cure, if we come back a few days later, he'll be wearing a different one, which is also not part of the bioscience division. So as you saw there, they gave us 3 options: talk to the Railroad, the Minutemen, or the Brotherhood. Now, apparently before the game came out, but it must have been really close to the game coming out, because in like the official game guide, this actually has a 4th option where you just build it by yourself and you don't get help from anybody. Now, I was going to build it with the Brotherhood, but because, like, based on what I read, it doesn't matter who you build it with. You can still do any of their endings. But then other things I read said that you basically, if you didn't want to kill off the Railroad or Brotherhood, you had to build it with the Minutemen. So I'm gonna build it with the Minutemen, and the reason I wanted to build it with the Brotherhood of Steel is when you build all this stuff and you use it for the first time, a lot of shit goes on. You know, you are building a teleporter from scratch out of junk. So I mean, as you can imagine, it's not the smoothest ride.
Minutemen remind me of the Brotherhood when Elder Lyons was in charge. Unfocused and far too charitable for their own good.
Sure, but I don't think that dance even comes with me, if I'm being honest. But yeah, if you build it with the Brotherhood of Steel, nothing breaks. Whereas if you build it with the Railroad or the Minutemen, like we are going to, you'll see a part of it breaks. Now, it's fine. It still works perfectly fine and everything.
What do you need,
but
General? Can you take a look at these schematics? A scientist named Virgil said they could get me inside the Institute. The Institute? Why in the world would you want to mess around with them? They kidnapped my son. Damn. That's some bad business. Even for them.
Didn't we already
We'll
tell
give
him
you
this?
whatever help we can. Don't worry about that. Now, assuming you could build this thing, what exactly does it do? The Institute uses teleportation to get in and out. This machine can hijack their signal and send me instead. Teleportation? For real? Wow. That would explain a lot about how the Institute manages to operate. If anyone can make heads or tails of those plans, it'd be Sturgis. I haven't found anything yet that he couldn't build or fix. Our scouts have found a promising spot for a new settlement. Once you clear it out, set up a rate. Before you know it, we'll have a thriving new farm instead.
So, Murkwater construction site, we already have that settlement and everything. I guess actually, since we're here, we should be able to turn in the other, unless we did automatically turn them in when we talked to them. No, we did not.
I cleared out the ghouls that were giving that settlement trouble.
Glad to hear it, General. It's hard enough out here without people having to worry about ghouls in their backyard.
Okay, so that clears out that one.
I took care of those super mutants. The settlers were relieved to not have them to worry about anymore.
Thank God. Super mutants. Civilians just don't stand a chance against them. As usual, I've got something else for you. I'll mark it on your map. Go find out what they need. We could use more settlements supporting our cause.
Alright, so yeah. So the one we turned in apparently was fine, whereas this one, he just automatically gave us another one. But either way, we should be fine leaving them in there. Alright, talk to Sturgis. Now, I do believe that even though we've already talked to the Preston there, I think we can actually still go and talk to the other two and get them to help if we want to, but I don't remember if there's more steps than just going and talking to them. And it looks like, once again, they've spawned. Man, I really should go try and find that fucking doctor. But such a pain in the ass.
Preston thought you might be able to figure out these plans for me.
Sure thing. Let's see what you've got.
Do you think you can build this?
Wow, what a mess. Looks like encrypted RF transmissions. Okay, so that gets routed through... What the hell? Teleportation. This is some pretty crazy shit. You sure it's for real?
It's real. I got it from an ex-Institute scientist.
Seriously? I didn't know you could be an ex-Institute anything and still be breathing. Anyway, the eggheads never think about the nuts and bolts of actually making something work. But, looks like it's all here. Yeah, I'm gonna need some time to study this thing. The handwriting's pretty hard to make out. But, you can get started on what he calls a stabilized reflector platform. It'll need some pretty high-grade metals, but it's basically not that different than the lining of a jet engine or something like that.
Good work, Sturgis.
Well, don't thank me yet. I think I got the gist of it, but it's gonna take some time to work out the details of some of the hairier sections. Here's a list of what you'll need for the first piece. I'm pretty sure we've got all that at Sanctuary, if you want to build it there. While you're working on that, I'll get busy figuring out how to actually build the rest of this thing. keep in mind, I can already see this is gonna take a crazy amount of juice. Like if you had a spare nuclear reactor handy, we could probably use it. And it's going to be big. So find a nice open building site with lots of power available.
Alright. So normally I go and build this somewhere else, but I think I am just going to build it back here. Because, I mean, I think we only need to use it once, and then we can take it apart. So I don't think it really makes that much of a difference. But yeah, if we look, he did give us the list of what we'll need. Oh yeah, miscellaneous would be right. Oh right, yeah, we still need to go sell. Whatever. We'll end up there at some point. We'll sell it. There you go. Items needed. I couldn't remember what exactly it was called. Here's what we'll need for the stabilized reflector platform. 10 aluminum, 3 circuitry, 5 steel. Pretty sure we've already got what we'll need. A sanctuary. Yeah. So as you can see, despite what they say, this is actually a very, very easy thing to build. It should be under special, right? I bought pod. Yeah. So let's... Where should we build it in Sanctuary, though? I mean, I kind of want to build it in the back just so that it's out of the way, but... You know what? Fuck it. Let's build it. Let's build it over here. He says it's big, but I'm pretty sure we're good on space almost anywhere we decide to build it. This seems like a better spot. And we can always adjust it after if we need to. And yes, you can build more of them. They even have clamp points, but... Now see, it says that it requires power, but you can't actually power it. That's because we do connect another piece directly to it. And then we power that piece, I do believe, and it connects. And
how's it going? Did you find a good spot to build your signal interceptor?
Man, those chairs apparently are a little close.
Yeah. Ready to build the rest of it.
Good. I think I got a handle on this crazy contraption. At least as much as I can tell. Until we actually try to build it, here's a list of 3 things that may be harder to find. I think I'll be able to pull together everything else we're gonna need. I'll meet you over at the building site and see if we can actually make this thing work.
Alright. So now we have the console, the relay dish, and the beam emitter.
Thanks, Sturgis. I'll get right on this.
Good deal. One thing to keep in mind while you're building this, it all needs to be wired together so all the pieces can talk to each other. I'll see you over at the building site. Good luck.
It's a good thing just everybody decides that my house is a place to hang out. Good lord, you two? I don't know, did he give us... Yeah, for the signal interceptor. 3 specific things. A military-grade circuit board, a biometric scanner, and a sensor module. Now, here's the thing. You don't need the sensor module. And you may have noticed when I went through my inventory there that I was, in fact, holding a... Oh, damn. This is actually a little bigger than I remember. So I'll just move it over. It should be... Yeah, there we go. Boop. Just like that. Relay dish can go in behind. And the control console can go right here.
Yeah!
Alright. Oh, well, no. Back up. Let's attach the wire to that. Attach the wire to that. And as you can see, it takes 27 power. So, because that one takes 2, that one takes 20, that one takes 5, and this just requires power, but since it's connected to that. But there is our teleporter. Kind of want to move it over a little bit more, just so that it's a little more centered between the greenhouse and that building, but whatever. So if you build this somewhere else, you also do have to wait for whoever's helping
Everything
you to
looks
come with
good
you.
on my end. You ready to see if this thing actually works?
Let's do this.
You sure? Okay. Your part is simple. Just step onto the platform. I'll start scanning for an Institute signal to lock onto. Then, I fire her up and we see what happens.
Nothing's more satisfying than a smoking gun and a pocket full of caps.
I'm
Yeah.
ready when you are.
So where are we off to next?
Okay.
Whenever you're ready.
Yeah. Oh, I see what matters. Okay.
Just get on the platform. I'll do
All
the
right.
rest.
So now you're locked in place.
Okay. Hold real still. I don't want any corruption of the molecular beam. Oh yeah, by the way, I figured this was a golden opportunity to find out as much as we can about the Institute and what they're up to. Yeah, this holotape's all set with a program that will scan their network and download anything it finds. Uh-oh.
Yeah.
We
So
better
that there
hurry.
doesn't happen
And
if you
don't
build
worry
it with
about
the
that
Brotherhood.
tubing wiggling around. It's, just there for decoration.
Yeah, I'm
Okay.
sure.
Scanning for the Institute signal. Tracking RF. And... got it. Hold on to your butt.
All right, and that is the molecular level, and we are now officially in the Institute. And I do believe that there isn't much that we can do up here, and I'm just trying to think. It's not even considered stealing, taking some of this stuff. But anyway. Load holotape. Network scanner. Alright. View access log. So here's all of the, see, so that signal rerouted, that's us coming in. The other two were other coursers. But yeah, this is the Institute, as you can see, significantly cleaner, and you may recognize some of the stuff here
I wondered if you might
as things I could build.
You're quite resourceful. I'm known as Father. The Institute is under my guidance. I know why you're here. I'd like to discuss things with you face to face. Please, step into the elevator.
Alright.
I can only imagine what you've heard, what you think of us. I'd like to show you that you may have the wrong impression. Welcome to the Institute. This is the reality of the Institute. This place, these people, the work we do. For over 100 years, we've dedicated ourselves to humanity's survival. Decades of research, countless experiments and trials, a shared vision of how science can help shape the future. It has never been easy, and our actions are often misinterpreted by those above ground. Someday, perhaps, we can show them what we've accomplished. But for now, we must remain underground. There's too much at stake here to risk it all. As you've seen, things above are unstable. I'd like to talk to you about what we can do for everyone. But that can wait. You are here for a specific, very personal reason. You are here for your son.
Alright.
Sean?
Huh? Yes, I'm Sean.
Sean, I've been looking for you for so long.
Who are you?
Sean, it's me. I'm your dad.
Father, what's going on? What's happening?
Sean, are you okay? You're not hurt, are you?
What's going on? Father? Father!
Shh. It'll be okay, Sean. I'm here now.
I don't know you. Go away. Father! Father, help me! There's someone here, help me!
Who is Father? Where is he?
Father? Father, help me! He's trying to take me! Father? Father, help me!
Sean. S923, recall code Cirrus. Fascinating, but disappointing. The child's responses were not at all what I anticipated. He's a prototype, you understand. We're only just now beginning to explore the effects of extreme emotional stimuli. Please try and keep an open mind. I recognize that you are emotional, and that your journey here has been fraught with challenges. Let's start anew. I am Father. Welcome to the Institute.
Father? That's your name? Your title?
Father is my unofficial title. It's what I've come to mean to the people of the Institute, just as you mean to your son, to Sean.
I'll make this very simple. Where is my son?
He's here, in the Institute. Closer than you think. But I need you to realize that this situation is far more complicated than you could have imagined. You have traveled very far, and suffered a great deal to find your son. Well, your tenacity and dedication have been rewarded. It's good to finally meet you, after all this time. It's me. I am Sean. I am your son.
How is that even possible?
I know this is a lot to take in. In the vault, you had no concept of the passage of time. You were released from your pod and went searching for the son you'd lost. But then you learned that your son was no longer an infant, but a 10-year-old boy. You believed that 10 years had passed. Is it really so hard to accept that it was not 10, but 60 years? That is the reality. And here I am, raised by the Institute, and now its leader.
But why? Why take a child? Why take you?
Ah, now that's the question, isn't it? Why me? At that time, the year 2227, the Institute had made great strides in synth production. But it was never enough. Scientific curiosity and the goal of perfection drove them ever onward. What they wanted was the perfect machine. So they followed the best example thus far. The human being. Walking, talking, fully articulate, capable of anything.
So the weird science experiments needed specimens. That's why they took you.
In a manner of speaking. Yes. The Institute endeavored to create synthetic organics. The most logical starting point, of course, was human DNA. Plenty of that was available, of course. But it had all become corrupted. In this wasteland, radiation affected everyone. Even in their attempts to shield themselves from the world above, members of the Institute had been exposed. Another source was necessary. But then the Institute found me, After discovering records from Vault 111, an infant, frozen in time, protected from the radiation-induced mutations that had crept into every other human cell in the Commonwealth. I was exactly what they needed. And so it was my DNA that became the basis of the synthetic organics used to create every human-like synth you see today. I am their father. Through science, we are family. The synths, me, and you.
60 years. So much time. Wasted.
I know. I know you must have questions. Please. Anything I can do to help you understand.
Kellogg. He worked for you?
Kellogg. He was an Institute asset long before I arrived here. It wasn't until I became director that I learned of all the things he'd done. What kind of man he was.
You knew the man was a psychopath, but you used him anyway?
Would you have preferred that I turned him loose on the Commonwealth? At least keeping him on a short leash kept the collateral damage to a minimum. The Institute took advantage of Kellogg's vicious nature. I will freely admit that. Institute technology prolonged his life, and his usefulness far beyond any normal human lifespan. He never failed the Institute, but his cruelty became more apparent with every completed objective. I won't lie. It's no coincidence your path crossed his. It seemed a fitting way to allow you, us, to have some amount of revenge. What else can I say to ease your mind?
Your mother. She never got to see you grow up?
Yes. What happened to her was... I've gone over the records of the incident, of course. It seems her death was an unfortunate bit of collateral damage.
Collateral damage? Is that all she was to you?
I forget that it's been such a short time for you. I don't have any direct memories. And I've had my entire life to cope with the loss. Has it always been easy? Of course not. But I've done my best to move on and live my life. For many years, I never questioned who my parents were. I accepted my situation, and that was that. With old age comes regret. And asking what if more often. But what matters now is that you and I have a chance to begin again. What else can I say to ease your mind?
So you're in charge of the Institute?
I am the acting director, yes. I spent decades working to reach this point. It's a responsibility I take very seriously. The Institute. It's important. It really is humanity's best hope for the future, no matter what those above ground might think of us.
They're scared of you, Sean. Scared of the Institute.
People are always frightened by what they don't understand. Ultimately, the Commonwealth has nothing to fear from us. Whatever you've seen or heard, I know I can convince you of that. Just give me time. I know there's more for us to discuss. But the Institute is on the verge of some important breakthroughs. Your presence would be appreciated as we approach them. I've been a part of something amazing here. I've helped to build a life for myself and the people of the Institute. And now, after all these years, you have an opportunity to help with that. Doesn't that intrigue you? Isn't that what you want?
You want me to stay here? In the Institute?
Yes. That is what I propose. Is it so hard to imagine? The Institute can provide a better life than anything above ground. You've been in the Commonwealth. You've seen what it's like. I assure you that you are better off with us.
How can you say that? How can you be so dismissive of all those people? Everything they've done?
Because it is the simple truth. And I believe you know it too. I simply ask that you give the Institute, me, a chance. A chance to show you what I've been telling you. We really do have humanity's best interest at heart. Will you take that chance?
All right.
Thank you. The Institute is now your home, as much as it is mine. Please take some time, get to know it. Meet the people you'll be working with. You'll want to introduce yourself to the division heads. Dr. Fillmore in Facilities, Dr. Ayo in SRB, Dr. Holdren in Bioscience, and finally Dr. Lee in Advanced Systems. They've all been notified of your arrival, of course. Meet them, and then we'll discuss what comes next.
Alright, so I did say yes there. If you haven't joined, I don't know if you've had to do a lot to do anything for the railroad, but if you haven't joined them at the very least yet, and you agree to stay with them here, that does automatically lock you out of the railroad. I don't know if it automatically locks you out of the other ones, but it definitely locks you out of the railroad. Now, just because I agreed to join the Institute and give it a chance, that doesn't lock me out of anything else. We still have access to all the other endings in that. This is also Father's room, or Sean's room, I guess. Even though he's still referred to as Father, I do believe in the subtitles. So yeah, the Institute here is a good place if you want to get a bunch of like clean stuff or undamaged stuff, shit like that. That's all. This is a good place to get it all. And no ways, no tile, no wind. Could be wind.
I'm in.
Kellogg Conrad, enhanced life expectancy. Kellogg's occasional presence continues to unnerve the others. At first, I thought they were merely intimidated by his confidence and arrogance, or perhaps even afraid of his general being. Kellogg is, after all, a killer, but as I've continued to witness their reactions, gauge their sidelong glances, I've detected something else, something I probably should have anticipated: jealousy. Kellogg is a living memorial to a forgotten program. He is the augmented human being, a cyborg really, and the benefits he has received cannot be denied, but really, the scientists here cannot care less about the enhanced reflexes or greater combat efficiency. No, the cause of their envy is something much more practical, more primal: his enhanced life expectancy. Just how long will Kellogg live if he passes naturally, however unlikely that may be? It's hard to say. He's already more than 100 years old, older, certainly, than any other human in the Commonwealth. His complete physiology has been altered. Perhaps he'll make it to 150, maybe even 200. Let the petty have their petty jealousies. A better way to phrase that, I'm sure. Kellogg is a living testament to the ingenuity and superiority of the Institute, and I take no small pleasure in knowing that must irritate him to no end. Status reports. Bioscience, hydroponics programs functional. The FEV lab is offline. Robotics, synth output nominal. Production materials fully stocked. Advanced systems, child synth project under quarterly review. Weapons diagnostics ongoing. Phase 3 behind schedule. SRB, Director Zimmer still offline. Above ground operative terminated, and retention programs functional. So the above ground operative terminated, that's probably the courser we just killed. And Director Zimmer still offline. That's actually a reference to Fallout 3. Director terminal pattern recognition algorithm ineffective. Facilities power output maxed. Air water recycling systems functioning normally. The wait continues. Io can only confirm sightings outside Vault 111 and again in Diamond City sometime later. What that means, I'm not sure. Will we actually meet? Was this all for nothing? No, not nothing. I will have learned valuable things about myself, my past. Either way. Cannot afford to let emotion get in the way. I must simply observe and record. I'm told Kellogg has gone offline. Strangely, I find myself thinking of, or Dr. Walker. He had such high hopes for Kellogg, such faith in the implants and what they could mean. I still regret eliminating that project, but I know where it would have led us. Walker was never shy about his goals, and too many others were starting to listen. In the end, I believe I was justified. The Institute is about preserving humanity, not some bizarre amalgamation of biology and technology. Says the people who created synths. Director access synth shutdown. Director code. I don't know what that does. I'm not gonna lie. Sean's terminal password. Oh well. I mean, already got into that terminal. Turns out director of the Institute didn't even have high security on it. I mean, all right. But yeah, a lot of the stuff in the Institute was also added to the workshop for you to build in, I do believe, maybe the workshop deal, the free workshop DLC, I think. But yeah, so if you turn down Sean here, if you say no, you're not going to work with the Institute. Yeah, it tells you to fuck off, basically. And this door doesn't open, so you can't access the rest of the Institute. Now that we're in here, though, we do have options. If we attack anybody, I don't think anybody in here. Oh, and then this is just the upper. Yeah, this is just his room again, upper floor. If we attack anybody, I think we automatically just get kicked out of the Institute. Like it teleports us out. Like bam.
Can you not see the grime and dust?
That's weird that the synth doesn't get a voice.
Don't make excuses. You're clearly defective, and I intend to report this. Perhaps after you've been disassembled, we can use your components to make something that's actually useful.
Yeah,
Spend
very
enough
weird.
time here, and you'll be sick to death of the word synth. I certainly am.
Hi, Doc.
You know what happens when people get robots to do all their work? They get fat and lazy, that's what. Real people doing real thinking and real work. That's the future I want.
No argument here.
Nice to meet someone who isn't obsessed with replacing people with machines. I've been saying for years that we're too reliant on these synths. But nobody wants to listen. Maybe you can talk some sense into them. In any case, I suppose I should say, welcome. Perhaps a fresh perspective will do some good around here.
Dr. Higgs.
The rest see me as little more than a glorified repairman.
So this is
I'm
the
as much a
boardroom,
scientist as any of them.
which, as you can imagine, not letting. Now we do have obviously some side quests to pick up in here. We still need to do the quest to meet everybody, and we do have a magazine in here somewhere. I'm not 100% sure where the magazine is. Give me a second here and I'll look, because I would at the very least. Okay, so we need to find some living quarters at the top of some stairs. Well, I'm assuming there was a name on that door, because well, I mean, I saw there was a name on the door, but I didn't see whose name it was. I keep thinking that's a computer terminal for some reason. I don't know why. It's very clearly not. Yeah, it's also very weird that none of this stuff in here is considered stealing. Oh, here it is. And our final magazine, An Astoundingly Awesome Tales.
Yes.
Boosh. Your canine companion permanently takes 10% less damage. And that, I do believe, is the full spectrum of perk magazines. Now, let's see here. No, unfortunately, there's a... Oh, fuck. Computer slipped a little. I also have a huge glare coming through the computer. Yeah, that is our final perk magazine of the game. Unfortunately, no achievement for it, but I mean, I think for the base game, Yeah, the nuclear option, which is the Minutemen ending. Complete the quest where you belong. The way life should be. Cleansing the land. Close to home. I don't know what those ones are. I think the nuclear option may be the last quest. I'll check after this video, but I think the nuclear option is the last main game quest that I have. Or main game achievement that I have. And I think the rest are all DLC. Like, those other ones may be different endings for Far Harbor. Because while I did beat Far Harbor, I do believe I, once again, only did it once. And I think I did... And I only
It's
did
an
one
honor
ending.
to have you here, sir.
Okay, well, your name is just Synth, so I'm going to assume that you're not an important person, which sounds mean, but thankfully you don't hear the words if they don't come out of my character's mouth. I'm not exactly sure what all I'm looking for here. I mean, I guess I'm more or less just looking for people to talk to. Because like I said, I know that there are side quests that we can do in the Institute. The main quest, or the main Institute quest, is the only thing. Same with like the Brotherhood of Steel and that. It's the main quest that will lock you out of other factions and that. And you can fuck up. Why is this door already open? Does that mean it's already in here? Oh, I'm assuming so. Higgs is here because I imagine that he was standing outside his room when I talked to him. Institute lab coat. Yeah, we'll take that.
It must
Maybe
make
I'll
you
give that to
proud see
Curie.
all that Father has done, all that he has built.
Okay. But yeah, I'm pretty sure anyway that there are no side quests that lock you out of stuff. All right, and this door is open. That's important. There we go. That's where we ended. All right, so that's Father's room. So now we'll head down. It's also Father's room. That's him right there. Sean's room. I don't know why I keep saying it. It sounds weird.
Done. Just need to tighten up this primary drive servo.
That's the third primary drive breakdown this month. As far as I'm concerned, the phase out on these older models can't come soon enough.
Oh, I don't know. Most of them have lasted long past their projected lifespans. If you ask me, they were built pretty well.
I can't argue with that. Even so, I'm ready to see the full Gen 3 roll out.
There we go. All set. Unit, you can return to duty.
Yeah, I don't know why the synths don't have voices. I mean, we've obviously heard them talk to us.
Excuse me, Doctor.
They weren't kidding. You really are here. Well, all right. I'm Allie Fillmore. You can think of me as the Institute's chief engineer. When Father
Can I think
told
of
us
you that
about
way, or are you?
I could hardly believe it. You've been through so much. I think most people would have just given up. If you don't mind my asking, what was it that kept you going all that time?
I guess I just wasn't ready to die yet.
Well, that's understandable. The will to survive is the most basic human instinct. Now, I'll give you a quick rundown of the facilities division, and then I'll answer any questions you might have afterward. As you might guess, we keep the Institute's mechanical and electrical systems running smoothly. We maintain and upgrade all of the systems that make it possible to live and work in a place like this. There's a lot of machinery behind these walls that recycles the air and water and provides power to the laboratories and quarters. The work we do might not be as exciting as some of the other departments, but it's at least as important. So, now that you're here and you've spoken to Father, does that mean you're on board?
I'm just looking around.
I see. Well, please do mind what you touch. Sensitive equipment here, not like topside. If there's anything else you'd like to know about the facilities division, I'm happy to discuss it.
Who built this place originally? Has it been here long?
The construction of the Institute is the work of generations of scientists. The original survivors of the war, our progenitors, took refuge in the basement of the old Commonwealth Institute of Technology. Over time, their sons and daughters dug deeper into the earth and built increasingly sophisticated habitats and laboratories. It's a process that's still going on today. Even now, we're digging out tunnels for new facilities and infrastructure. Just think what this place will look like 100 years from now. I hope I'm there to see it.
Allie,
What's on your mind?
I'd like to know about the people in your division.
Of course. Dr. Lawrence Higgs is our mechanical engineer. He oversees the major life support and security systems. Power distribution is Dr. Evan Watson's area of expertise, and Dr. Newton Oberly is in charge of food and housing. He coordinates with bioscience to ensure that our meals are balanced for optimal nutrition. We also make use of a number of synth units for low-priority maintenance and labor.
Dr. Fillmore.
I'm not done with you yet, bitch. Stop walking away.
It must be a challenge to meet the power demands of a place like this.
Absolutely. We scratch and scrape for every precious ounce of voltage that we can. Over the years, we've learned a few tricks that help supplement our power budget. When necessary, we can tap into select sources on the surface. We take only what we need, of course. Fortunately, Advanced Systems is always working on new solutions to generate more energy. It's a good thing, too, because the demand is always increasing. You don't even want to know what a single use of the molecular dematerializer consumes.
Alright, that guy walking up behind her looked like a fucking, like, slasher villain. Also, was he an actual dude?
If
No,
not for
just
your
a
son.
Alright. Alright, so we can go to bioscience or robotics from here. We also have a terminal here with a master lock. Let's bust into this, see what's through here, and then we'll end the part. And then we'll talk to the other people afterwards. Can't be undergoing armor blasts. That's not even really a word, but it can't be with password anyway. So, what do we got? Vegetables. Could be. Nope. Choke point. Could be.
I'm through.
No. I guess I should have just clicked on it. I mean, I had 2 options left, and I think I had 3 or 4 tries, so. Cauterizer, applicator. So yeah, also high-powered microscope if you wanted some extra stuff as well too. As well as the clean stuff, there is also different materials that you can pick up if you wanted, or different like junk items to pick up if you wanted different decorations. Like if I, for example, normally when I do this, I take a bunch of this stuff and take it for my own doctor, right? For my own clinic, my own infirmary, whatever you want to call it. But anyway, there's still a lot of people to talk to in here, and we're already getting close to an hour. So we're going to end this part here. Like I said, I knew we'd end in the Institute. I just wasn't sure if we'd make it through this quest, because there's a lot of talking. Not to mention, people are obviously running around.
Remember to keep unnecessary power consumption to
So finding them all.
Greetings. As the Institute's requisition vendor, I can provide supplies for your missions on the surface.
Oh.
How may I assist you today?
Let's see what you got.
So let's see. We got Experiment 18A, which is a plasma rifle. 25% faster fire rate, 15 faster reload. That's not bad. That's their legendary that. And then we have Mark III Synth Right Arm, which is action point refresh. The chest piece, increase energy damage, lower your health. Mark II Helmet, agility and perception. Mark II chest piece, harder time detecting you. And then obviously they sell the synth armor as well. Unfortunately, an Institute Division head coat. Which division though? Unfortunately, I think the only synth armor we need is heavy, and as you can see, he's not. At least currently. Did I put it here? Nope. Yeah, there we go. Yeah, all I need. The only armor that I have that we can get right now is the heavy synth, and he's not selling any, so that's a shame. But you can get some Institute outfits if you want to dress up your settlers or yourself with that. But yeah, one last time. That'll be it for this part. Thanks everybody for watching, and I will see you next week for more.